Hey, I'm Matt Adams. As you guys know, golf courses are living, breathing things that are changing all the time. Well, one of the things that's really exciting about the industry is the advancement in the different strains of grass that are available for golf courses such as this, premium golf courses. Now, you guys are all familiar with the term Mach 1. When it's Mach 1, you know that you're talking about speed. What's amazing about the new Mach 1 grass is what you can do with it. You can virtually cut it to any length that you want, which means you can get the speed that you want on any golf course. It is resistant to the heat, it's resistant to drought. You're talking about a cutting edge strain of grass. That is what's coming right here at Steamstrong. It's starting with the blue course, and what you're about to see and what you're about to hear is all about the exciting advancements here at Steamstrong as they continue to be on the cutting edge. Well, we've made our way inside of Steamstrong's clubhouse because I have before me, to my right here, this esteemed panel assembled to tell us more about Mach 1. So allow me, first of all, if you would, to introduce who is here with me. Hank Kerfoot is with me. He's the president of Modern Turf. We'll get into what Modern Turf is and their interaction. Rod Lingle is here as well. He's the agronomist with Mach 1 to give us more detail. Rusty Mercer is here, director of agronomy here at Steamstrong, and of course Scott Wilson, the director of golf here at Steamstrong. So Hank, if we could, let's start with you. Tell us about what Modern Turf is and what your relationship is to what we're talking about today.
So we're a sod farm, and we started out about 20 years ago growing golf for all industries, but I was a former golf course superintendent, so golf's always been in the forefront for me, and golf grasses. And we started out, our first greens grass was Mini Verde, and then we've progressed through Sunday and now the Mach 1. So we're all things grass and golf, but the Mach 1's what brings us here today.
All right, this is probably the big question then about Mach 1. Rod, what is Mach 1?
Mach 1 is an ultra dwarf Bermuda grass, and right now there's probably 3 to 4 main ultra dwarf Bermuda grasses on the market. And it's a very small grass. We think it's probably the smallest ultra dwarf out there. It's a grass that I've looked at for quite a long time, and we think it's going to be very significant for people that want a very high-end, super quality, almost professional type putting surface.
Well, Steamstrong has made the decision that that level of perfection is exactly what they want. This is cutting edge in terms of the putting surface that you're going to see here at Steamstrong. It's starting with Steamstrong Blue. So, Rusty, I guess the question that I would have for you is, regrassing a golf course, especially one of this stature, there's always got to be some trepidation. There's got to be nerves involved. Why did you decide Mach 1 was where you wanted to go for the future?
Well, Matt, we've looked at this for over a year now. We've compared it to all the other ultra dwarfs that we have available to us. This is a normal thing to go through. Every golf course needs tweaking after a certain amount of time. And as far south as we are, the grass just begins to wear out. It just runs out. But after looking at the Mach 1 for the last year, Rod is right. This is maybe the finest textured ultra dwarf we've ever seen. The ball roll that we've been experiencing through the last 8 to 10 months is off the charts good. I have no concerns whatsoever about doing this. In my mind, this is absolutely the right thing to do for Steamstrong.
Ultimately, I think it's about the playing experience on whatever type of grass is being used. And Scott, I mean, how excited are you for golfers to experience putting on these Mach 1 greens?
Really, I think the best part about this is the commitment that Steamstrong is showing to the long-term playability of the golf course. You know, we've talked about this since day one, that Rusty and his crew has fast and firm conditions. And we see the ball rolling now. And we see the Mach 1 that we've done out on the chipping green and seeing the ball roll there. And it's that much better. And it's just very exciting for us to see that the long-term health of Steamstrong is alive and well.
Yeah, and that alive and well is because of this Mach 1 grass that can provide pretty much whatever type of playing surface that Rusty wants to provide out on that golf course. And Rod, when we talk about the evolution of this, the development of this grass, could you talk to us about the process from your standpoint in terms of density, in terms of flexibility that he has, in terms of how he wants to maintain it?
Right. Well, one of the things when I found Mach 1 growing that attracted me to it, of course, was the texture. And it has a very fine texture. And the other thing, of course, I was really looking at was stability. You know, would a grass try to maintain some stability? Because we've had a lot of issues with that in the ultra dwarf market. But in the finality of all of it, you really have to have something that the golfers like, and this comes down to putting quality. And I do think the putting quality of the grass is potentially the best putting surface of all the ultra dwarfs because of the texture, the way the leaf arrangements on the grass are, and I just think that Rusty, you know, he's very good with what he does, and he's already proven with the first year, this green has already separated itself from the other grasses here at Steamstrong. And I was telling him, I think as it gets a little older, it will get a little bit better because my experience with Mach 1 has been that as the grass gets a little older, it tends to draw down and actually get a little shorter internode and get a little bit tighter, which is kind of hard to believe, and it's just going to be a better putting surface. And we think genetically it has an advantage, and somebody like Rusty that knows how to take care of it properly, really it will be probably almost a contest to see that the greens don't get too fast.
Really?
Yeah, it's almost, I think, particularly in the winter, don't you think, Rusty?
I do. That was one of the concerns, but we're not seeing that now. I think the density of the grass keeps it from being too fast. Although I wonder sometimes if there's such a thing as too fast.
Right.
All right, I want to talk to you about the playing experience a little bit more as well. We're talking about speed. It is called Mach 1. This is an incredibly exciting development because that term is one that you're going to hear a lot in the golf industry moving forward, and that's how much of the cutting edge Steamstrong is here. Let's talk about grain for a second. We've talked about the speed that you're capable of achieving on these greens. How does this Bermuda compare to the Bermuda that most people are familiar with?
In terms of grain, again, this stuff is amazing. We can't find any at this point.
Really?
Now, again, we're working with stuff that's just a little over a year old, and perhaps that's just not long enough. But you know, as we sit here today, we have no grain on these greens. That is something I keep looking for. But I mean, that can be controlled with regular light verticutting, a light top dressing, and not overdoing nitrogen fertility. And we are very cognizant of all of those things here. We always have been, irrespective of what kind of grass we're growing. But we're not seeing any grain. What we're seeing is, in my mind, the finest putting surface I've ever seen.
That's saying a lot. Hank, I want to ask you a question. We know that what's happening here is historic. How historic is it, though, for the industry regionally, nationally, that Mach 1 is being rolled out on Steamstrong Blue?
Well, certainly that's a great place for us to have it showcased first. But, you know, what's going on in the industry now is, you know, these grasses do have a lifespan. And there's a lot of golf course superintendents out there now that have grown the 3 most popular ultra dwarfs. And there's a lot of them can tell you what they don't like about each of them. They all have their strengths, they all have their weaknesses. So now's an opportunity for something new. It's a really good time for something new to come into the market. And people are going to be faced with the decision, are they going to go with the devil they don't know or the devil they know? And we like this one. We think the more people see it, the more they're going to say, hey, this is something we ought to look at and consider for our course.
Very cool.
But Steamstrong is a first one, obviously, is just a great call.
It's got class, it's got distinction, it's got reputation already in the state of Florida, already nationally and already internationally. And to that point, Scott, when you have a decision like this that is being made and you're already cutting edge, you've already done it with what you've built here, but now with this new grass, Mach 1, that you're putting on the blue, you're telling the world that you're taking it up yet another notch. it's kind of amazing. I don't even know what comparison to make to it, because I didn't think that Rusty's conditions could get better here, but they're about to go up a step. That's got to be exciting to you as the director of golf.
It is. It's something to put on the mantle, if you will,
Yeah.
that we can basically say that our greens right now are the best in the state of Florida. But now with the improvement of going to Mach 1, it's going to be fantastic. With Blue already ranked in the top 4 in the state, it's just going to get better.
All right, so Rusty and Rod, I'm going to ask you both the same question, and ask you to start for us, Rusty. For a playing experience for an average golfer to a better than average golfer to the very best in the world, what is this surface going to be like, respectively?
I think what I'm noticing, Matt, out there is with a ball on the ground and a putter in your hands, this grass gives you confidence, because it just doesn't waver. If you see the line and put the ball on the proper line, it's going in the hole every time. And my guess is people will make more putts. Their confidence will build as they go around the golf course, and they're going to have more fun. And ultimately, that has to be what this is all about.
Yeah.
Having fun, right?
Rod, what do you think?
Yeah.
From average golfer to the very, very best in the world, the experience that they're going to have.
I think Rusty's right, is that when they play first of all, most golfers won't admit that they don't like fast greens, even if they don't like fast greens. And it's just kind of an ego thing that we've noticed in the industry. But the more people play fast greens, they do get used to it, and they tend to like it better because it putts better. You don't have to make as hard a stroke. There's a lot of things involved in it, but by and large, I'm like Rusty. I just don't think we've already crossed the Rubicon, so to say. And we're in that area where people have, slow is just not fun anymore. It's just really neat to have a putt where you can play 20 feet of break and watch it go up the hill and come back this way and go to the hole.
I did want to ask you about, we're down south. It's going to be subject to tremendous heat. At times, it might be subject to drought. At other times, it's going to be subject to a deluge of rain. How is Mach 1 in terms of handling all of these, at times, severe conditions?
We've seen nothing indicate, it's a Bermuda grass. It's going to handle drought and heat. These grasses are from Africa, and they're pretty adept to this situation. And I think, Rusty's got all the tools and all the irrigation and everything he'll ever need to keep it where it needs to be.
Rusty, what has surprised you the most about Mach 1 in your testing so far?
The grass has been virtually problem-free, Matt. We've experienced zero issues with it. I was a little concerned, in talking with Rod early on about how tight it is, how tight the inner node length is, that it might get puffy, but we've seen none of that. It is particularly responsive to growth regulation, which is important with any greens. You don't really want to grow a lot of grass on greens. You want to get it full, you want to get it where you want it to be, and then kind of sit there. And it's done all of that. We get very little grass off of it when we send the mowers out there. It has not, there's not an ounce of thatch anywhere on the green. But most importantly, I think, Matt, it fit our business model perfectly. We do a lot of early morning shotguns. I don't have time to do a lot of double cutting. Yeah. We do a lot of 7:30, 8 o'clock shotguns. I need to get out, get things done, and get back to the shop. The grass is perfect, and it's providing all of these wonderful things and these great characteristics from a puttability standpoint with minimal inputs. That doesn't mean no inputs. All greens are going to require a great deal of upkeep, but this is about as minimal as it gets and still provide the things that we've talked about today.
And I think this is such a great place. If you travel the country You know, I'm in Texas, and we have some really hardcore golfers in Texas. And we have a lot of great golf courses in my area. Ben Crenshaw's course is right there. Escondido's right there. I mean, we have just 5 or 6 awesome golf courses, and almost everybody you run across is a really good golfer. All of them either have played Steamstrong or they definitely say, I'm going there, though I can't wait. So Steamstrong's the hot, you know, golf destination in golf, really, particularly in the South right now.
We're coming out of our skin. We can't wait. It's a perfect storm for us, and the biggest problem I have is figuring out where to plant more grass.
That's a good problem to have. We can tell you that there will be grass planted here. It's going to be Mach 1 on the blue course as Steamstrong continues to push the boundaries of performance and the playing experience that all of you will have right here. Gentlemen, congratulations. We're excited for you as well. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.